Hi, I am Tom Holland.
And I'm Samantha Clayton.
And we are your coaches for this amazing new program designed by physical therapist Bob Forster. It's a 3-phase program.
In phase 1, we work on flexibility and strength to get you stable and to make you a better fat burner. In phase 2, we're going to work on adding a strength component. And in phase 3, we want to take you towards peak fitness by adding power moves. Let's get started with some stretches.
Want to stretch?
I'm ready to stretch.
All right. We're going to start with that head hang rotation. So we're just going to drop our head, gently let gravity pull it down. Now we're going to look into one shoulder. We're going to come back to the middle, always just letting gravity pull it down. And then we'll go to the other shoulder and back to the middle. Pick the next.
Cross chest. I want you to take one arm, cross it over, always holding above the joint and making sure you keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Enjoy the stretch, let your stress melt away, come back to the middle, and let's go over to the other side.
And from here, we're gonna take it into a penguin. Bob has some amazing stretches we're gonna do. So this, we're just gonna take those hands, we're gonna put it behind as if you're tucking them into your pockets, and then we're gonna pull our elbows forward, really stretching through the back, right, Sam? You feel that?
Feels good. You know, our next one has got a bird name too, and it's called the Swine. You're gonna make a fist, push back, feels good, and you're gonna hold that stretch.
And so that's for the biceps. Then we go to our traps. So we're gonna grab a hold of one wrist, and we're just gonna pull that arm straight down, and then we're gonna look at that opposite shoulder. Which one are you going? You go there?
I'm going this
You
way.
go there, I'll go there too. And then we're gonna gently release. We're gonna switch sides, grabbing that other wrist and looking at the opposite shoulder.
Always make sure you don't grab actually on your wrist. We don't want to pull your wrist off.
Exactly.
Grab gently above.
And from there, why don't you take the tricep?
I love triceps. I'm all about the guns. Take one arm up, put it down the back, and put your hand on your elbow. Push down really gently. Again, all our stretches, we want to ease into a stretch. You never want to force or coerce your body into stretches. Just relax, take it easy. Come back down to the middle. Make this look dancey. Come on up, Tom.
I'll try.
And stretch down. Other arm. Always want to do your stretches. One side, then the next. Got to keep everything looking good, feeling great.
And remember, if we want to do that little side stretch, we'll just do a little lean. So we'll stretch that back a little bit more, stretching that upper body, the back a little bit, and come back to the middle. And excellent.
Down to the floor, let's go.
All right, some press-ups. You want to take the press-ups?
Sounds good. So put your hands by your chest. As a girl, I want my hands out further apart because it makes it easier for us. And I want you to relax your glutes, heels are out, push up, making sure your hips only just come off the floor and then come back down. We don't want to pause too much at the top. And you just want to do this a few times just to loosen off your discs in your back. It's a really nice back stretch.
Warming up that lower back, keeping those hips on the ground, pressing up. Let's do one more, Sam. Then I'm gonna let you put me through the next round of stretches.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Let's go. This next one's called the Pretzel.
All right. Always thinking about food, you are.
I sure am. So I want you to take this leg and cross it over the other one.
Okay.
And I want you to just pull this knee over to your opposite shoulder and really feel a glute stretch. This is a great stretch for runners. It's a great stretch to loosen off your glutes. Now I want you to come back down to the floor. And then I want you, stay crossed. I didn't tell you don't cross. And then I want you to lean one way, all the way down. Awesome. And then I want you to look in the opposite direction. This is really going to give you a good stretch through your lower back and your glutes also. Come back up. Neutral position. And do me a pelvic tilt. Pelvic tilt's so important in every exercise. You want to eliminate your space between your back and the floor. I want you to lift one leg up at a time. And the other one. Put your hands on your inner thighs and just really let your inside of your leg feel a stretch, loosen off. These are muscles that we neglect often. It's great to do stretches before you work out, after you've worked out. Enjoy your stretch. There are some exercises where we don't want you to have a pelvic tilt, but in a lot we do want you to pelvic tilt to protect your back. Come back up and lie on your side, facing this way. Now next exercise is really going to address your quad muscle. So bend your bottom leg to give you some stability and then pull on your laces. Now, Tom, take a look down and see if you can see your knee.
Nope.
Good, and that means he's getting a great stretch. It's always good to always look down, make sure you're in perfect alignment. And you want your head, neck, and back, everything in a nice straight line and just stretching out your glute. And I mean your quad. Okay, flip around the other side, Tom. Get your other leg. Always important to stretch out both, one leg at a time.
And it's so important, Sam. We'll do these before every workout. We want everyone to do them with us. This is our warm-up, right?
Yeah, sure. Every single workout we do. And a lot of these stretches you can take to the office, take them wherever you go. It's just always good to relieve stress. Stretching's really good stress relief. You ready for your next set of stretches?
Do that cat back, I think, right?
I love animals. Let's go to a cat back. Now he's in a kneeling position here. When we go into kneeling, your shoulders and wrists always lined up, hips and knees are lined up, and then pretend I'm literally pulling you up. And then you really feel a stretch here. You're contracting your abdominal muscles while you're doing this stretch. It feels good. And then when you come back down, you always come back down to neutral. We don't need to arch your spine. You come back down to a neutral position.
And so many people, Sam, we know you're going to be out here. They're spread out, and it's really tight. So a nice box.
Tight.
Yeah, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, right?
Great.
You want to do some...
I'm going to stretch out my hip flexors because I'm feeling tight. I'm always running. My hip flexors are tight. So you can talk me through it.
All right. So again, she's going to get in a lunge position. She's going to put those hands on her thigh gently, and she's going to flex forward at the hips. So she's not going to round her back, and she's going to push through where you're feeling it. Show the people at home.
I'm really feeling it through my
right
hip
there.
flexors. Now your hip flexors get tight during the day, just from walking, hiking. It's really important to stretch them out. It's a muscle that's often neglected, and we're going to be here to tell you, do not neglect your hip flexors.
And one thing we'll talk about too, if you have any knee discomfort in this stretch, you can take a towel. We'll have them on the set during the workouts. She would keep one underneath the knee, anything to just give a little bit more soft stabilization to the knee. We'd put that right under there. So she's gonna take this and she's gonna now stretch her hamstring. Perfect. She's just gonna, again, hinge at the hips and just lean forward. You don't have to lean forward too much. You're not gonna round the back again. Where are you feeling that stretch now?
Right through my hamstring. And you know, as I really feel that stretch, I can back off if it's too tight, wait for it to loosen off, and then I can lean forward back into the stretch to really increase the stretch in my hamstring. Again, we talk about positioning. I'm going to reposition because I really feel my stance is too narrow. You can always do the same when you're doing these stretches. Reposition so that you feel comfortable. We don't want you toppling over, so get comfortable. And then remember the cues. We're hinging at the hips, have a nice straight back, and I'm really focusing my attention to my hamstring.
And I want to talk about Bob's principle of STP, as I call it, subsiding tension principle. It's a mouthful. All it means is, yeah, all it means is, it's a very simple concept. She's stretching right now. She's holding the stretch, and the stretch is increasing in intensity. She's going to pull back. So we don't want it to increase in intensity if she's holding it. As long as it's staying the same or subsiding, then she'll move forward a little bit or hold it.
Now I've taken myself into a calf stretch because my hamstrings were really stretching out then. So what I've done is I've just pulled my toe back towards my shin to really feel a stretch through my calf. And
it's
then
really subtle, right? They might not see it. You might not see it on camera, but just that toe, hold on.
Very true.
She'll feel that stretch. Work one side, now you have to work the other. So again, right here through her hip flexor, she's stretching that.
And then coming back to hamstring, hinging for the hamstring, pulling back the toe to hit the calf muscle. And then we've pretty much stretched everything out.
Yeah.
You'll be ready to work out, ready to go, ready to get on with some great, great moves. You ready to tell them about the dead bug, Tom?
I think you should take me through the dead bug.
Oh, I'm
No, but you want to do the dead bug? You better?
I'm better at the dead bug than you are.
Dead bug.
Now, it's called the dead bug. Dead things are generally lying on the ground, so I'm going to lie myself down here.
And this is phase one, stabilization. So phase one, we're going to constantly go back to the same position. Her feet are flat, her legs are 90 degrees. She's not going to do the pelvic tilt for this one. We actually want that space in her lower back. You want to go right to the advanced dead bug?
I'll go into advanced dead bug just to show you how it's done.
So what we're doing here is a leg is up 90 degrees, opposite arm. We're working the body at diagonals. And go ahead and show them.
Before I start to move, I'm going to contract my abdominal muscles with this sound. Really contract your transverse abdominals. I'm going to hold that. I'm going to continue to breathe as I switch my arms and legs, making sure that I'm firing the muscles at exactly the same time. Palms are facing in towards my body the whole time as well. Athletes do these exercises because it teaches your muscles to fire in a pattern that can optimize performance. It feels good. My abdominals are working. I like this one.
You're good at it. Yeah. Her angle isn't changing in her leg. That's really important. Good enough. Let's do a partial sit-up. So some of you out there may think, oh, I need to do 200, 300 sit-ups. No. She is just going to do a pelvic tilt right now. So press that lower back in. You good?
My pelvic
I thought
tilt
you
is
were.
done.
Yeah, you're always perfect.
You know I got this, Tom.
Her fingertips are a couple inches off her thighs. And now she's just going to clear her shoulder blades. She's going to look straight up, as you can see. Her head is back a little bit. She's going to hold. She's going to come back down. So we're going to do a bunch of those. We'll add in rotation in different phases. But this is the basic crunch.
And I always cue to make a double chin. It's the only time in your life you want to do it, but you really want to tuck chin to chest. Again, protect your neck. It feels good. Double chin. Only time I want you to do it is for this partial sit-up.
And so we got that. So we're going to show them now external rotation. You're already here. So if you just roll on your side facing that way, we'll show them shoulder external rotation. Same body position we were using as when we stretched our...
You want to pass me a weight for this one, Tom?
Let's pretend.
Give me some weight. Come on, let me make it happen.
What do you want, 20s, 25s?
Just a really light weight.
You want to go light, especially the guys out there. This will be challenging. So external rotation, Bob will talk about how important the stabilization of the scapula is, the back of our arm. So her hips are stacked, her elbows tucked in, and she's going to do a couple repetitions on each side, 90-degree angle.
I call these the baseball exercises. Strengthen your rotator cuff.
And let's switch sides. Great job. We'll do many variations of these as we go. Internal, external, really important muscle group. Hips are stacked. She's relaxed. The motion comes right here from the elbow. And where are you feeling it? You're feeling it all back here, yes?
Yeah, this is an exercise that for a little while you won't really feel it to start with. And it's one that you just stick with. We're working muscles that you generally don't work. And for that reason, you just have to take your time, focus and breathe, and then really locate your muscles in your shoulder. And eventually, as you get going, they'll really start to work.
You want to do the plank?
I'm going to make you do the plank, Tom.
Okay.
Come on, get in a plank position for me.
How's that? Is that good enough?
I'm going to rest my cup of tea right
Always
here.
have to put your cup of tea.
Cup of tea down.
Put a cup of tea there.
You know, the reason I say that is because I want him to be totally stable. I shouldn't be able to move him around here. No glutes up,
Down here.
no glutes down. Just a really nice straight back. Again, when you go into plank position, it's so important that your shoulders and your wrists are lined up. You can always widen your stance if you need a bit of stability. Show them that. Widen your stance so that you have extra stability. Again, but keeping your abs tight and your core solid.
And for most of us, it'll feel we need to really drop our hips down.
For sure.
So we got to engage those abdominals.
Right, I'm gonna grab some bands now because I'm a fan of bands. Resistance bands are my favorite. We can do this together, Tom, and show them how it's done.
Thank you.
The reason I love bands is because as a mom, I can throw them in my purse, take them wherever I want to go, and really make sure that I am getting my workout.
And again, we just want to emphasize this is a brief overview of the entire program.
For sure.
Yeah.
So take us through some flexion.
I'm going to go flexion.
Quarter squat.
Exactly. Most of them will be done in a quarter squat. So we're sitting back, we're engaging our abs, we're engaging our legs, and we're going to do some flexion coming forward and down. And we're going to have thumbs up. Give me a second here to get these bands right. And we don't want to go any higher than that's too high. So we're going to keep it low, right about shoulder, right?
You want a competition? He's Ironman. He's all about endurance. I'm all about speed. But in these exercises, no speed involved.
And you want to take it right to, you know, my favorite.
The guns. Time to work your guns. Let's go. Our focus with this whole program is making sure that your entire body is active. Our aim is just to make you live that happy, healthy, and active lifestyle that most of us dream of. Not to your extreme, Tom, where you're doing all your triathlons. But maybe if that's you, this program's right for you too.
You want to take us to triceps?
Tricep extension. So I want you to come down into squat position here. And on this one, we're just going to isolate tricep. One at a time.
And one at a time? I gotcha.
I like one at a time.
Yeah.
You can always, I just find that you can focus more one at a time.
Well, that's the great thing about this program is we'll do just about everything. One
Always-
at a time, bilateral.
You know what? How about you keep your elbow in,
Okay, I
elbow
did.
tucked in. You see, sometimes it takes you a while to get it.
Okay, fine. You want to do squats?
I love squats.
Let's go squats. I'll go here. You're stronger than I am. You know.
Squat competition
Up here,
or
yeah.
what? I'm just gonna go right here.
So squats. Squats aren't bad for you, right? They're so great for our lower body. We're going to sit back as if we're in a chair.
But bad squats are bad for you,
Yeah.
right? That's why we want to do them right.
And these are functional movements. These are things people are doing every day. So regardless of if you're just a beginner exerciser or you're a competitive athlete, these all are exercises for you.
For sure. I
You
love
were doing
these.
these when you were sprinting all over the world, right?
I sure was. A ton of squats.
And you know, well, go ahead.
Again, with the resistance band, I'm gonna make it harder. So I show Tom how it's done. Widen my stance and increase the resistance. My body weight's through my heels. Okay, I'm gonna quit showing off. And we're gonna go on to our hang clean. Power moves. Let's go, let's get our weights. Phase 3, like I said, is all about power. It's time to take phase 1, phase 2 to the next level and get you fit. So want to take me through some hang cleans
No, you
here?
take me through, Miss, Miss Power.
Okay, so we want to be here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go down and then come back up. Go down. Again, focusing on your back.
Do you want that little pop? Do we want to get the
I
little
like the pop.
boom?
Yes.
Let's
and
get rid of
relax.
one. Let's do a dumbbell swing. So kind of like a kettlebell swing. You're going to hold this. You're going to squat down and just going to bring it up. Too high.
Too high?
Yeah, keep it down. Not for this one. Yeah, so we're going to do different movements.
And that just shows you there, it's great to have coaches taking you through exercises. The two of us together, we
There's
can
many
get
different ways to do exercises.
so many different ways.
There's a progression to this plan. Every 8 weeks, we're going to change it. Let's grab that dumbbell again. We're going to do some swings to high pulls. So you want to just, well, we're going to do stuff like this, where you're going to do high pulls, right? Let's come down from here. We'll add this in and come up to a high pull.
Oh,
Okay,
perfect. I like that.
High pull. Drive with those elbows. We'll give you all these cues. We're starting to work the upper body and the lower body together. Compound movements, getting the most bang for your buck, right?
I like this. I should have picked up the same size weights as you.
Yeah.
I'm a competitor, you know me.
Exactly, and that's what we emphasize too, Sam, that go at your own pace. This workout works for everybody. You're just gonna choose the level and the weights that are appropriate for you. You wanna go to the next one?
We want to do a row here.
Do a row.
Coming up.
Wanna do those? Okay.
Again, I'm hinged at my hips here. Just hinged at the hips. Always want to keep a nice flat back and work the muscles that we're intending to work.
So
Where
we'll
you
do these.
feeling this one? Where you feeling it,
I'm
Tom?
feeling at the upper back, the lats. We'll also do single arm, right? So we'll do one at a time, or we'll come here, we'll lean forward.